TomoNews presents Future Air Travel.
Dutch researchers propose circular airport runways. Scientists in the Netherlands are working at the country's aerospace center to develop circular airport runways. Researchers at the Endless Runway, a project funded by the European Commission, believe circular runways could have several benefits, including being more environmentally friendly and less noisy. The group proposes constructing a 3.5-kilometer wide circular runway with banked sides, divided into 18 runway segments, with the airport terminal in the center of the circle. The length of the circular runway would be equal to 3 straight runways, while being able to handle the air traffic of 4. Circular runways would allow planes to land and take off at any point in the circle. Pilots would be able to land in directions with the most favorable weather conditions, while avoiding difficult maneuvers in situations such as strong crosswinds. The circular design would also mean aircraft coming into land circle the airport fewer times, thus using less fuel. The design allows for 3 planes to land and take off at the same time. Because of centrifugal forces, planes would automatically go slower and move toward the center of the runway. Circular runways could also limit noise pollution by spreading it more evenly around the airport. The U.S. military conducted tests in the 1960s with circular runways, but commercial circular runways have never been built. This 6-rotor personal drone would be an awesome way to get around. Ever since the Jetsons, who hasn't dreamed of owning a flying car? That day, an electrical vertical takeoff and landing vehicle can replace the gas guzzler in the driveway. But what if you just want to zip around the neighborhood? Well, then the Solexa is the whip for you. The Solexa is designed for shorter flights of about 20 minutes. Imagine skipping over traffic on your way to work. Or you and a friend can explore the countryside in a Solexa, which is way cooler than taking an ATV. Its designers also think the police might find the Solexa useful. Cops riding a Solexa could quickly respond to a crime scene and then report back to a command center. Navigation would be automated. Punch in coffee shop and the Solexa is programmed to take you there. The Solexa has a 200-pound payload, a 30-meter height ceiling, and a maximum flying time of about 20 minutes. At this point, the concept is just a concept, much like flying cars that fold into a briefcase. Airbus designs custom modular plane interiors. Airbus has released a new concept called Transpose, which may allow travelers to enjoy dining in restaurants or even go to the gym while flying. The new concept makes use of existing cargo planes and their large doors and reinforced floor rails. The plane interiors are built in modular sections. These sections can include a gym and even a play zone for children. The modular sections can easily be loaded onto the cargo plane. Once in the plane, they are securely latched to the floor. Different interior spaces can be swapped. For example, sleeping compartments for red-eye flights can be exchanged for a coffee shop and seating for short daytime flights. Airbus has already recruited engineers and designers to work on a demonstration module in a full-size plane mock-up. The company says the concept could be fully realized in just a few years. One step closer to a flying taxi future. Though still probably more than a few years away, dreams of commuting through our cities in flying vehicles may become a reality. German company Lilium's 2-seater flying jet prototype features 36 propellers and runs entirely on electricity, making it emission-free. The aircraft takes off vertically and accelerates into forward flight with the help of its wing flaps. The prototype was controlled remotely during its first test flight in April. The company's plan is to build a fleet of air taxis that can be booked on demand via smartphone by 2025. Like Uber, but with flying jets. With low battery consumption and a cruising speed of up to 300 kilometers per hour, travel time will be reduced and will come at a fraction of the cost of regular taxis. The company claims their first manned flight won't be too far off and even wants to create a 5-seater version of its VTOL aircraft. But with a couple of other aviation companies also developing their own flying vehicles, the race is on.
Supersonic passenger flights will soon be a reality. A new airliner that boasts supersonic speeds is set to revolutionize air travel once it takes flight in 2023. Boom Technologies' planned supersonic aircraft will have a cruise speed of 1,451 miles per hour, 2.6 times faster than any other airliner. While a flight from New York to London would typically take 7 hours on a commercial flight, the trip would take a little over 3 hours on a supersonic airliner. The Mach 2.2 aircraft will have 55 seats, each priced at about $5,000 for a round-trip ticket. A 1/3 scale prototype called the XB-1 will begin test flights in 2018 to demonstrate and refine the key technologies required for supersonic travel. Unlike the now retired Concorde and its notoriously loud sonic boom, the Boom aircraft will have turbofans for noise reduction and won't be much louder than a normal plane. The company does have some hurdles to face before their project comes to fruition. Supersonic flights are still banned in the US, but with federal laws currently set up for renegotiation, that could soon change. Well, this is unique. Ever thought of air travel in terms of reusable shipping containers? If what a bunch of researchers are doing in Switzerland is anything to go by, that concept might just fly. Developed at the Federal Polytechnic Institute, the pod planes concept could one day allow passengers to board at rail stations. These pods each measure 30 meters in length. After being ferried to the airport, the pod would join others under a giant 60-meter wing. This modular concept aircraft is one of several developed by Swiss researchers called Clip Air. According to CNN, its speed and range would be around the same as most mid-sized commercial aircraft.
An engineer from Austria, Stefan Klein, has invented a car that is able to unfold a pair of wings and take off into the air. The aeromobile measures 6,000 millimeters long and 1,600 millimeters wide. It can seat up to 2 people and weighs 450 kilograms. The vehicle's top speed on the ground is 160 kilometers an hour and can travel a distance of 500 kilometers, which is roughly 1,250 times around an Olympic racetrack. The collapsible wings measure 8,200 millimeters across. The vehicle must reach 130 kilometers an hour for takeoff. During flight, the aeromobile is able to reach speeds of 200 kilometers an hour and can travel a distance of 700 kilometers in the air, roughly 1,750 times around an Olympic racetrack. Klein hopes to bring this technology to a larger market.
World's largest aircraft set for luxury tourist trips. How would you enjoy seeing the world like the passengers of the Hindenburg? Maybe that wasn't the best example. The world's largest aircraft, the Airlander 10, made by Hybrid Air Vehicles, is set to be tested by travel company Henry Cookson Adventures to take tourists on exotic trips around the world. The aircraft is powered by 4 325-horsepower turbocharged diesel engines and uses aerodynamic lift like a fixed-wing aircraft to take off. Helium keeps the Airlander in the air. The airship can carry payloads of up to 10,000 kilograms and stay in the air for 5 days at a time with a crew. It also doesn't require a runway. The passenger version of the Airlander 10 is expected to be able to cruise at 80 knots at an altitude of up to 20,000 feet. The Airlander 10 is currently still in its test flight phase and looking to gain airworthiness certification.
Boeing says commercial hypersonic jets could be a reality. The CEO of Boeing said at the Paris Air Show that commercial hypersonic jets will become a reality in the next decade or two, which will drastically cut down on current air travel times. Hypersonic generally refers to speeds of Mach 5 and above, which is faster than supersonic and more than 5 times faster than transonic speeds. A hypersonic jet can travel from New York to Shanghai in just 2 hours, whereas a conventional commercial flight usually takes around 15 hours. However, objects traveling at hypersonic speed have to withstand surface temperatures of up to 1,000 degrees Celsius, enough to melt aluminum and titanium. The two elements are common materials used in current aircraft construction. Sonic booms created by flights traveling at hypersonic speeds would also generate a noise on the ground that can permanently damage human ears. Despite the failure of the Concorde and skepticism over ultra-fast airliners, some companies have made continuous efforts to try to turn supersonic travel into a reality. Boom Technology is developing a 55-seat supersonic jet that it hopes will be in service by next decade. Lockheed Martin is also developing the quiet supersonic technology X-plane that it hopes will eliminate the problem of sonic booms.